Hi, everybody. Recruiting Animal here on May 27th, 2026. Nobody's here yet, but let's see who comes. Richie Rich Rosen, America's recruiter, has joined the show.
What's happening?
Well, I've got some questions for you, but I have to note that to my surprise, boy, you got scalped. What, did you just shave your head today? Got a nice summer shirt on.
There you go. Hang on. I can't.
This is formal for him, everybody.
It is.
Richie Rich, took a clip from one of the shows where he was saying that if only, these hiring managers or especially CEOs in these smaller companies, if they, could tolerate serious questions about their company, they wouldn't feel intimidated when they get a good candidate who's serious about business and comes in and asks them hard-hitting questions. They don't like it. So Rich said, you know what? I coach these guys. I say, look, you got to sell your company. You got to be willing to deal with a smart candidate. And they say, yeah, but they don't like it and they reject those candidates. Okay, so you still stand by that, Rich? I agree. Hiring managers do not like to have tough questions from.
No, they don't want to feel like dummies.
They don't. It's not that they're dumb. They think that the candidate is negative. They want the candidate. Let me follow up with a different question. If the candidate is not in love with the new position and the new company, do you think but is willing to take the job, do you think that the employer should consider hiring him or her?
If they're not in love with the job?
They're not in love, but they'll take the job.
It depends how big the company is. I mean, is it a big company? Is it a startup? Is it the second guy in? There's all sorts of factors, right?
Well, if you had a candidate and they say, Rich, I'm 70% on it. I like it. I'll take the job if they offer me. That's only 70% liking. Okay. Are you going to tell the employer, he's so on your job? Okay. Are you going to say, yeah, he's willing to take it? What would you do?
Again, it's super dependent.
Okay. Tell me, elaborate on that. What does it mean if you're the second? So you're dealing with small startups.
Yeah, I'm dealing with small startups. I mean, if someone's not excited about it, they shouldn't go to a startup, period. You got to be in it to win it at a startup. If you're at like IBM, have at it.
70%. Okay. Is that your cutoff point?
I've honestly never thought about it.
70% enthusiasm. Oh, yes, you have thought about it.
You're the one who just gave me the number of 70%.
I'll tell you why you've thought about it, because you yourself have said that your success depends on putting people in there who don't leave in the first few months, okay? You want somebody who is going to stay even if a recruiter calls them a month from now. Am I right?
Yeah, of course.
Because I don't know, even you've got a guarantee period, and so you don't want to lose that guy. Okay.
But I mean, it's once someone takes a job, the chance of them leaving.
Oh, come on. It happens all the time.
It does if they go to a bad company.
Well, I mean, this is what we're talking about. How solid is the commitment? How enthusiastic is the person about the future with this company? Okay. If it's not great, they might not stay if somebody else calls them. And that other people will call them.
It's Special K, people.
Special K.
Hey, everybody. Special K is here. Haven't seen her for a while. Isn't her hair beautiful? Is it okay if I say that? Oh, thanks. It's great. It's luscious, okay? I like it.
What are you guys talking about?
Okay, so here's the thing, Kelly. Do you think that your candidates have to be in love with your client company or the employer before they should be seriously entertained, given an offer? In love. Okay.
What does that mean, in love?
Hey, I want this job. I just think it's a great company. You know what love is.
Yeah, I don't know how realistic that is in every case.
Okay.
You want it.
Animal, yell at her now.
I will yell at her. She
want
knows
it to be that way, but you want it to be that way. But I think you
have a job to do is what you have.
Kelly, here's what Rich he couldn't get it through his brain. Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, or 1 to 100, what percentage of love do you think the candidate should have for the company and job before you think they should entertain them as a serious candidate?
I would say 70,
80.
I would say at least 85%.
80.
Woo!
Wow, rock star.
No? I mean,
Yeah.
you know, if you're doing a good job selling, right? I mean, if you found somebody that's a good prospect and you're doing a good job selling them into the opportunity, shouldn't it be that way? I mean, I'll defer to Rich because he's
No,
the
Rich
master.
is busy, but I know what Rich says already. Okay, I've processed everything Rich has ever
Oh,
said
good
on
Lord.
the show.
Let me hear this crazy process.
Okay.
Process,
No, but I don't have to guess.
Yeah.
Rich
It's a process.
Rich
Yes.
said, "Look, it depends. It's always it depends. If you've been
It
working
is
on
always
that
it
search-
depends. Oh
and
my
you
God,
said-
it depends.
Yeah, you sent in 3 candidates already, and now it's a real hard search. And this candidate's only 70% enthusiastic, not 85, and that's a significant difference.
Mhm.
Would you say, yeah, this is a candidate I think they should seriously consider because I
Yes.
can't find anybody else after a serious search? Okay,
Sure, of course. Yep.
okay,
Oh
but
my God,
generally
it all
speaking,
depends. There's lots of depending.
generally speaking, you're a 70 girl, okay? You're not an 85 girl, not a 70 girl, okay? Right? You know, if Tom was here, he'd say, "Look, if you asked someone to marry you and she was only 70% committed, would you want her? Would you?
Hey,
would you
that's
follow
all some
through?"
people got, baby. That's what they got to go with. That's it. Beggars
Okay.
can't be choosers.
Yeah, I'd rather she was 85% than 70.
We all
okay?
would, but that's not what the question
Wouldn't you
was.
say wouldn't you say if somebody is only 70%, there's something wrong there? Like they don't have enough information about the job?
Or maybe that it all depends. Is it a startup company or is it an IBM or Ford or something?
Here's a question. I'm putting it to Mario. Okay.
What happened now?
Does your candidates, do they have to be in love with the job in order for you to consider promoting them to the company? Okay.
Wait a minute. Okay, first of all, my candidates are cleared folks, okay? They don't even love the job. They need the job. That's it.
Okay. So let me move on. We've beat that one to death.
Yes, we
Here's
did.
one that. Okay, here's one that really interested me. You know, count on Richie Rich to say something nasty every time. Okay. Okay. Do you guys know who Rick Rubin is? He's got an old hippie with a long beard.
Okay.
He's a record producer.
Yeah. So Mike, listen to this. So my daughter's roommate, her dad is his right-hand man. He built Def Jam Records with him.
What do you know?
Wow.
Yeah, this guy Mike Goldberg.
That's cool.
Super nice dude.
6 degrees of separation. Recruiting Animal is like just a few degrees away from.
We can get him on the phone right now.
Okay.
Mike
good.
Goldberg is
Yeah.
a great dude.
Go ahead, do it. But here's what he said. We don't even have to. Here's what he said on his recent interview. He said, "I am really lazy. Okay, every day I don't want to show up for work. It's like, oh no, I've got to go out for work. Okay, this guy is super successful. He's world famous. Okay, if your candidate went and said that at an interview, what would your client say? You know,
Adios
really?
to a candidate who doesn't want to work.
No, he didn't say he didn't want to work. This Rick Rubin
lazy.
is
Oh,
ultra
he's lazy.
successful.
Wait a minute. Animal, you're talking about people in the music business versus people in tech, sales, or the medical industry, or what, biotech?
What's the
All right.
difference?
No, there's a big difference in the industry.
So hold on a second. I know you guys don't like this question. I like it because I am
Animal,
lazy.
I'm surprised
I'm
you're not
lazy.
being
I'm
supportive.
lazy. Okay, I don't love my jobs. I'm like him, except he's successful. Okay. What if you have a candidate who's got a great track record, but goes in and says something like that? Is that a problem? I don't think so, because you could see from his effort that his success history.
Wouldn't you know? You would know that from interviewing the candidate.
You know, I've got a story. Okay, 1 month back, one of our candidates was interviewing for an OCI position. Okay, that's a cleared Oracle Cloud infrastructure role. Okay, and the guy sounded so dull on the phone. The hiring customer thought he was not interested, but he was so interesting. He was interested in the job, but he's like, yes, I can do that, and he had a style of talking.
Yeah, you got to
There's
tell
no-
people to jazz it up.
Yeah, but this was a bit Come on, Rick. This
Let
guy
him
has got
finish
over
his story,
25 to
but I
20
think he's
years.
got a mental
And-
problem like Richie does. You know,
Neurodivergent
issue.
is the
Yeah.
appropriate
No.
term.
Yeah, neurodivergent, right?
Yeah. Okay. So what's the
Listen,
end of the
the
story?
problem was he got rejected because they thought he was not interested.
Yeah.
And see, we are dealing with some morons in the hiring side, and they said, no, we're not interested in interviewing him again. Which is actually very sad because he's a super strong candidate.
So how did you sell
Are
them
these-
to the? What did you do?
We spoke to the candidate, we presented him to them. They had a look at his resume, they called him for an interview.
Yeah, and so
this
how
was-
did you succeed in placing that guy with the company?
That's what I said. Animal, what's happened to your brains? It's got scrambled or what? He got rejected.
Yeah,
that
but
was
didn't
very
you try
sad
to say,
because he
hey,
was-
you're misunderstanding the
We
situation?
tried. The problem is, see, we are dealing with hiring managers on the federal side, okay?
Yeah.
It's an epidemic everywhere right now, to be real honest.
Yeah, seriously.
Clients right now just do not understand that they think they read in the paper everyone's getting laid off, so they think there's
Right.
a million candidates out there.
Exactly.
And they don't realize there's not a million candidates for them out there.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
Imagine,
honest.
just
You know?
imagine, Rick Kelly, you would understand what I'm saying. An OCI candidate, which is already rare, with a TS-SCI clearance.
Mm.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to go
Active
back
one.
with things like that. You know, you got to go back to the client and sell them on, hey, listen, here's A, B, and C. You know, on what this guy has done. You're looking, and then you got to go and help the guy understand. You're looking at the negative, not the positive. I get this guy is not mad.
Unfortunately, you need to understand. We work. Unfortunately,
He's got to go. But just let me say, Special K is not here all the time. If you find it boring, just
No.
feel free
There's
to
one
log
factor
out,
to
okay?
consider.
I can handle
Animal,
It's all
we
good.
don't.
Okay.
I know what the animal show entails.
Okay, but you can come and go. I just want you to know. Go ahead, Mario. Go ahead.
Unfortunately, we work with subcontractors, right? So we don't deal directly with the primes.
Okay.
You get the point?
Yeah.
So the hiring side is the primes. So we don't get access to them.
Uh-huh. Okay. Well, there
So
you go. I
that's
don't
the
think
problem.
Rich doesn't like to work like that, and he says nobody should. But
No,
that's
there's no choice in the government contracting, Animal.
Okay.
Federal
Here's an
recruiting, you
interesting.
have to work
Here's
with
an interesting
subprimes.
question. I want to kill that
Tell
one.
me.
Okay. Okay. This woman
Thank you
said,
for killing it.
okay, she placed somebody. The candidate didn't work out. I don't know if candidate was fired or just left on his or her own, but she replaced that candidate. However, the new candidate was at a lower level in terms of salary. Okay, she's charging a percentage of the salary. Should she owe the company, her client, some money to downgrade it?
No.
Why not?
It doesn't matter. It's a replacement, not a refund of the fee.
Right. I wouldn't.
Okay, I
I
agree
mean,
with
I
you,
might
but
work if they made us think about it. I'd probably work with them a little bit on the next placement, you know, just to be, I don't know.
Trust me, Kelly. Sometimes it's not worth it. Believe me, we have done
Well,
this, and the
Depends,
client
like
has-
Rich said, it depends. Like if it depends on how good is the client, what are your options to make more placements?
Sure.
You know, do you want to keep working with them? You know, if it's an A client that I'm making money from, I'm gonna
Well,
work with them.
Okay, on that point, yes, I agree. See, we have lowered our fees when the client has given us close to 200K business a year.
okay,
But what happened is the next year they dumped us totally.
okay. But
So
here's
in
the thing.
hindsight, ain't worth it.
Here's the interesting thing. She said she wouldn't give them back money. She'd make it part of the next deal, and that's Rich's
Yeah.
principle as well. Never
Hey, that's mine
give
too.
them a deal now. Prorate it for the future. Okay.
Right?
Of course.
Yes,
Of
exactly.
course.
Get them to come back. Unless
Yeah.
you don't want them, then
Lower them with the bait.
Now I can't think of it offhand, but I think there's a really good logical reason why you don't owe them that money. It's because you did the search for original search. You're doing two searches, really. Okay.
right.
You did the original search, and you got the fee for what you did, the work you did.
Yes,
Mind you, but
yeah.
someone could say, "Well,
Exactly.
you didn't really do it because the candidate didn't last." It could
Yeah.
go both
Nope.
ways.
You did though. I mean, you did it.
Look, end of day, whatever said and done, they always see us as an unwanted office. Okay,
Okay.
let's be
Rich
realistic.
always says I'm too soft, and maybe he's right, but I'm,
Yeah,
I don't know.
you are too soft.
It can't be that much difference. Okay, my
You
guess
just-
is
Animal, you just yell at us. You don't yell at anyone else. You're too kind.
Okay. Here's what Peter Thiel says. He said, lots of people think you have to be willing to work with people you don't like in order to be successful. Okay. But
Mhm.
he says it's odd to spend your time working with people who don't envision any long-term future together. If you can't count durable relationships among the fruits of your time at work, you haven't invested your time well. He said it's not bias to hire people you like to be with, and I have to agree with him. Okay, it's like hiring for culture, hiring for personality, and hiring for culture. Isn't that basically the same thing? You want to go to work every day. We've been talking about, yeah, I love the job, okay, because I like the people there. I want to be there. Okay, so is it fair or is it wrong to say you have to be willing to work with people you don't like?
It's not
Okay.
realistic to think that
Yes.
if you join a company the size of PayPal, that you're gonna like everybody you work with all the time.
Okay,
Well, here's the
Melly.
thing. I've been married 30 years. Do I love?
Yeah,
Do
no.
I like my husband all the time? No.
Uh-oh.
I
Welcome
love
to the
him.
club.
I love him, but
Uh-huh.
people
Okay.
go through different things.
Do you want me to cut this out of the show?
No. He's in the next room. He knows. That's how it
Okay.
is when you've been married for, a long time. You
Okay.
don't always
Yeah.
I don't always like my own children. I don't like some of the things they say and do, but the point is things change
Okay.
and then they change back.
The fact remains, Kelly, you gotta learn to work with everyone if you want to be successful.
Okay, here's how Zuckerberg
Okay.
hires. Okay, he says,
Yeah.
I have this hiring heuristic. I don't like
This is
that word
Uncle
heuristic. Okay, but it means like a checklist
Uncle
or
Ronnie,
whatever.
Uncle-
He says, I
Oh, please.
will only hire someone to work for
Yeah.
me if I could see myself working for them. Do you think that's fair?
Oh.
What if
Yeah.
your client said that to you? K, Special K,
Wait.
answer that.
Yeah.
You like it?
There's people have said to me, I don't want to hire anybody I won't have over to my house for dinner.
Okay. Anybody else?
So yeah, I agree with that.
Repeat the question again, or the
Zuckerberg, you remember him, the guy from Facebook?
okay.
He says, I only hire someone to work for me if I could see myself working for them. Okay, and you missed the last question. Peter Thiel, you remember him? You know who he is?
Yeah, I've heard of him.
He says, lots of people think you have to be willing to work with people you don't like in order to be successful. But he says that's wrong. You want to work with people you like, okay? This is Zuckerberg's version of the same thing. You know what? I think these are good questions I'm asking today, but they're just dying here, okay?
Okay.
I don't know what's going wrong.
My thoughts are
I'm
this.
just-
I've always liked hiring people who I consider to be smarter than me, who I considered to be a person I'd want to be around.
But didn't you work for people you didn't like and you threatened to beat them up or something like that in the past?
Oh God.
I worked with people.
Okay, but
who
you
were
didn't
that
hire
way.
them. Okay.
Ernie, can I ask you a question, please?
Yeah.
Can you please tell me how you told that I'm going to beat you up?
Oh, he
Just
just
for my happiness.
it was a guy who was a CFO, and he was talking to me and he was waving his finger at me because he was telling me what to do, and I told him, you know what, you better put that finger down because I'm getting tired of this conversation. And I was in his office. It was a one-on-one, and I said, you keep doing that, I'm going to jump over that table and I'm going to just drag your ass over here. So he stopped and he goes, I'm sorry, I'm doing that. I go, don't ever talk to me or anybody else like that. And then after I finished, I go, I'm getting the hell out of here. So I get out of the office and I went over to the president's company and I just told him, hey, this is what I just did. So I just want you to know. So this may be my last day, it may not be, but I didn't really give a damn because the guy's very disrespectful.
Okay. Now, now here's another question I found very interesting, and it came from a guy named Travis I think his last name's Janko, Janko. He's a recruiting trainer. I brought one of his books, actually.
Listen,
And the title is Leadership is Not a Generalized Skill. I had become one of the top SMB, small to medium business sales leaders in the company I was working with. Then I took over one of the top enterprise sales teams. Are you with me? Yes. Okay. He said, I thought great leadership just transferred automatically, but it does not. Okay. I kept
Right.
trying to lead enterprise reps the same way I led the small to medium business reps, and it was one of the biggest leadership misses of my career. Now, actually, that surprised me. I thought leadership is leadership. Anybody want to comment on that?
Okay. A lot of it depends on the corporate culture in which you go into, which meant this guy didn't understand the corporate culture.
It was the same company. It was the same company. Sure, he understood the company. Okay. Now, I myself would think someone who's already leading a successful sales team could move over to another team in a different product line, or even selling to a different kind of customer.
If you change it a little bit, you got to understand it could be the same company, but the problem is this: it could be 1 million people in that company, and if they talk about treating people with respect, it's one thing, but all it takes is for your boss to be a jerk, and that company doesn't represent
See
what
where Ernie's taking it. He's taking, I'm going to beat up the boss again. Okay.
No. I'm taking it like your company is only as good as your boss.
Mm-hmm.
True. I agree with you totally on that point.
Because nobody else can help you. That's your life. I got to make. If you're my supervisor and I'm working on the plant floor, you're the reason I'm going to stay or going to go. And if I can, but once you leave and Mario gets in there, it's a whole different game. So what this guy did was he changed over to departments, and he had to understand his people. He did not understand his people.
Okay, so let me twist it a certain way. If you've got a candidate, you've got an enterprise sales job, okay, and you've got someone who's been working as a sales leader or manager for a small to medium business environment, would you not present somebody like that? I would. Anybody?
Well, it depends on asking them, how do they best operate?
Okay, I guess the questions, you guys don't know enough, neither do I, to ask the questions. Or maybe Special K knows. Are you listening?
No.
Okay, thanks. She woke up for a second. Let me ask her a question. If you've got someone who's been a successful sales manager in a small to medium business relationships, that's the market they're selling to. You've got a client, they want someone to manage an enterprise sales team. Would you consider presenting someone from a small to medium business? Why not?
No. It's too much of a change.
What is involved? Why is it different?
Deer in the headlights. I think, the volume of an enterprise client would be too much of a stretch. I think what you do is you'd put that person in more of a, a sales, like I don't know the right word, but
rep.
No, something where they could work into that kind of role.
Now, what you see, okay, you have a job opening. They give you a job description. That's fine. But really, the question is, what are you trying to fix with hiring this person?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The second part of that is knowing that what needs to be fixed and what they're looking to fix with their next hire. The second part is this candidate that I'm presenting, can they fix that particular problem? Because if they can't, and they could be a great leader in other ways, but if they can't fix that problem, you don't present it.
Well, what if it's just a backfill? I mean, what if there's no real problem? Let's just say they promoted the person before him or her, whatever.
Well, but in every hire, somebody should be looking at what they need to do either to improve it or to fix it. And you don't just put people up there, because pretty soon, the Peter principle comes into play. and then people get fired, and that's when a 20-year employee gets fired because they just got into a position where they couldn't do it, and they shouldn't have done it, but it wasn't their fault.
Okay.
You know?
We're getting near the end. Let me ask a few more questions, okay? Do you tell candidates how many other people are under consideration?
No, it's none of their business. Nope.
I do.
No? What do you mean it's not?
Yeah, when I
their
want a
business?
decision.
Not. It's none of their business.
Why?
I mean, it depends.
It is their
Why
essential
would you? I
business.
think that's opening a can of worms that you don't need to open.
What do you mean?
It's not necessary. Why would you do it?
So they know what I don't know. They got to know
Who
where they
cares?
stand more. Okay.
You know,
If
but
they
with
ask,
people-
I'll tell them.
Ernie,
yes,
if you had a candidate who was not in love, or put it this way, do they have to be in love with the company and the job before you would really recommend them to your client? In love, do they have to really love it?
it's not a matter of love; it's a matter of what's their motivation to go, and that they're running to something, not from something.
Isn't
You
that
know,
just a different way of dodging that question? They're
Well,
running
I mean,
to something.
do they have
How
to-
much
do they
are they
have to be-
running to it? Okay, 50%
Law
or
degree is paying off.
100%. Come on,
Well,
don't make me beg.
Are we still on this question, Animal?
Hey,
Look, he drops
hold
out
on,
for the
hold on.
whole show,
Ask
and now
Rich a
he comes
question.
back to complain.
Let him
Ernie's
prep.
answering the question that you couldn't answer, okay, Rich, at the beginning of this show.
Did he not
Okay.
answer? What do you mean I couldn't answer? Just because you didn't like the answer? You're like my
Yeah,
wife.
right, yeah.
If you
okay,
don't
I-
like the answer, doesn't
You
mean it's
couldn't
not a
give a
good
straight
answer.
answer. You couldn't give a straight answer. And Ernie's not going to do it either, okay? He's already tried to dodge it, okay?
Much
We-
like our clients, it could be the guy asking the question.
They're running to they're running to your company. They're not running away from something. They're running
Exactly. It's
to
the right
your
answer.
company.
It's when you say you always tell you always tell your candidates, hey, you should be running to, not from. You know,
and you can
But
have
you
enough
also
reasons
told
that
us,
they got to
Rich,
do the
that
research.
everybody
as to
leaves
whether or
because they don't like their manager. That's running from, okay, from the get-go. And one doesn't rule out the other. Look, if I come out looking smarter than you guys, this is a bad show, okay? But no, Rich, Ernie said, just let's wrap it up. Maybe you can give us a quick answer on this. Is there a difference between being a manager of a team that sells to small to medium businesses and one that sells to enterprises, so that you can't really move a manager from SMB to enterprise very easily? Is there a quick answer, or should we save it for
yeah, no,
next week?
you can totally move someone from mid to enterprise. I mean, it depends. I mean, they've got to know how to really work a cycle.
It depends. He's saying it
It
depends.
absolutely
That
depends.
wasn't a strong depends. That was a weak depends,
No,
okay?
Animal always thinks there's one answer and it fits everything. No, it absolutely
No, it-
depends.
Yeah.
Can it be done? 100%
No.
to be done. I gotta go to the call, guys. Ciao.
See ya. Bye,
Me
Richie.
too.
Rich. Goodbye, everybody.